What if I told you your brain is quietly sabotaging your career? Not because you lack talent or drive, but because of hidden biases, mental shortcuts that distort your decisions and hold you back. These aren't just abstract concepts, they are real forces shaping your life. For example, according to a study done by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, 74% of HR professionals believe unconscious bias affects recruitment and selection decisions. That's not just a statistic. It's the barrier between you and your dream job. Picture this. You've prepped for weeks, nailed every interview question, but somehow you didn't get the job. You're left wondering, what went wrong? The answer might not be your skills or experience. It could be a hidden bias working against you. As Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel Prize-winning psychologist, said, "We are blind to our blindness." These biases are invisible, but their impact is undeniable. They're the reason you second-guess yourself, stick with a dead-end job, and miss out on opportunities you're perfectly qualified for. But here's the good news. Once you understand these biases, you can turn them from obstacles into opportunities. Today we're exposing these forces, and I'll show you exactly how to outsmart them. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to spot these biases, break free from their grip, and take control of your life. So what exactly are cognitive biases? Well, if you look at the words themselves, cognitive comes from the Latin word for knowing, and bias literally means slant or lean. So a cognitive bias is really just a slant in the way we think, an automatic shortcut our brain takes when processing information. These shortcuts are why a medieval hunter, upon hearing a rustle in the bushes, would immediately assume danger. He didn't pause to consider every possibility. His brain applied a simple rule. Better safe than sorry. That split-second judgment could mean the difference between life and death. Fast forward to today, and those same mental shortcuts still run our decisions. But now, instead of bears and wolves, it might be hiring choices or career moves. Our evolved machinery tries to save us time and effort, but it can also steer us off course when we don't stop to question that first impulse. Understanding that biases are baked into our cognition, helpful in one area, misleading in another, is the first step towards catching them in the act. Next up, we'll look at specific biases, like confirmation bias, the halo effect, and the sunk cost fallacy, and how to outsmart them. Okay, let's talk about confirmation bias. Our brain's sneaky habit of spotlighting everything it believes and dimming everything else. Psychologists define it as the tendency to search for, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms our preconceptions. Here's how it shows up in everyday life. Say you decide going vegan will make you healthier. You'll happily share articles praising plant-based diets and bookmark glowing success stories. But when you see a study suggesting you might miss out on certain nutrients, you scroll right past it. Your brain's built a filter to keep you comfortable. Or maybe you believe you're just not a morning person. Our ancestors leaned on this shortcut to make fast decisions. If you thought a berry was poisonous, you'd avoid it without tasting every single bush. Today though, it can keep us stuck in routines and bad habits. So what can you do? First, admit it exists. Next time you find yourself nodding along to an article that fits your view, deliberately seek out the opposing take. Read the negative reviews, watch the skeptic's video, or ask friends with different opinions. That simple step, playing devil's advocate with yourself, breaks the filter and opens you up to fresh insights. And that's how you flip confirmation bias from a mental trap to a door for real growth. Next up is the halo effect, another mind trick that makes our first impressions stick a little too well. Psychologist Edward Thorndike first spotted it in 1920. He noticed that officers who judged a soldier positively in one trait, say neatness, were more likely to rate him positively on unrelated traits, like leadership or intelligence. Think about how it shows up in daily life. Maybe you meet someone who's effortlessly charming and well-dressed. Instantly you assume they're competent, smart, and trustworthy too, even though you only know they have a great jacket. Or picture scrolling through Instagram. You see an influencer with perfect photos and think, wow, they must have their whole life together, ignoring the reality that social media is mostly highlight reels. The halo effect doesn't just play out socially, it sneaks into work too. You might ace the first minute of a job interview with a confident handshake and a great smile. and suddenly the interviewer overlooks the fact that you didn't fully answer a later question. That initial glow can cast a halo which blinds us to gaps and flaws. Here's how to use it in real life. Dress the part. Wear a crisp shirt and well-fitted jacket to your meeting. That sharp look makes people automatically trust your competence before you say a word. Mind your handshake. A firm, confident handshake in the first 5 seconds casts a halo over your entire conversation. It signals confidence and professionalism. Mention a quick win. Early in the chat, slip in a brief success. I just led a team that increased sales by 20%, and you'll benefit from that credibility throughout the discussion. Keep your space neat. If you're hosting at home or stopping by someone's office, make sure your surroundings are clear, no piles of paper or clutter. A tidy environment makes your ideas feel organized too. Now let's dive into the sunk cost fallacy. Our instinct to stay the course simply because we've already invested in it, even when it no longer serves us. Picture a student who's 3 years into an engineering degree but dreads every class. They've poured tens of thousands into tuition, late nights on problem sets, and sacrificed weekends. Yet they stick with it, telling themselves, I've come this far, I can't quit now. Meanwhile, their passion lies in graphic design, where they thrive. That feeling, that burden of past effort, is the sunk cost fallacy. Those previous hours and dollars are gone. They can't be recovered. Making future decisions based on them only traps you into something you no longer want. The smarter approach: treat each semester as a fresh choice. Ask yourself, am I gaining skills, enjoyment, and payoff from this path today, regardless of what I've already spent? If the answer is no, it's more courageous and logical to change direction than to stay stuck chasing a return on a past investment. By recognizing the sunk cost fallacy, you free yourself to choosing opportunities which genuinely align with your goals. And that's how real growth happens. Before we close, I want to share one more technique that pulls everything we've learned into a single, powerful habit. One that few people use, but everyone benefits from. It's called a decision journal and pre-mortem routine, and it will help you spot those hidden biases before they trip you up. First, start a decision journal. Before any major choice, like switching majors, accepting a job offer, or launching a side project, take a moment to write down 3 things. Your decision. What exactly are you choosing? Your reasons. List the facts, feelings, and evidence you have right now. Possible pitfalls. Call out where confirmation bias, halo effects, or sunk cost thinking might sneak in. Putting it on paper pulls you out of autopilot and locks in a clear record you can revisit later. When you review what actually happened, you'll see exactly which shortcuts your brain took and learn to catch them sooner next time. Next, run a pre-mortem. Imagine it's 5 years down the road and your decision has completely failed. Spend 5 minutes listing every reason it could have gone wrong. This flips confirmation bias on its head by forcing you to look for failure points, not just success stories. Finally, use 3 quick bias check questions before you commit. Am I only seeing evidence that fits my story? Am I overvaluing one strong signal? Am I sticking with this just because I've already invested? By combining a journal, a pre-mortem, and a bias checklist, you create a feedback loop that turns these invisible mental shortcuts into conscious tools. Try this on your next big move, whether it's choosing a new course, a career pivot, or even which video topic to tackle, and watch how much sharper and more confident your decisions become. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.